What's up, guys? Hokage Puya, big Asian World Cup qualifying. Round 3 games happened. And you guys, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it right now. Asian World Cup qualifying, I stand on business about this, guys. Asian World Cup qualifying is the best World Cup qualifying, the most entertaining World Cup qualifying out of all the other confederations. I'm sorry, guys. Every time Asian World Cup qualifying comes around, especially now, it's just excitement after excitement, big results, drama, drama, and there was so much more this time around in these November games. Here we are for the round 3 review for these November games, and big themes. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all the groups like always, just like I always do on my ghetto Google slides. But the key ones: Iran, some struggles. Qatar are absolutely trash. Group B was a little quiet. I was a little bit disappointed in Group B, but Group C, the group of madness. Indonesia, huge win against Saudi Arabia. Australia, kind of mid. And Japan just running the show as usual. So, you guys, we're going to go through all of it. Not going to waste your time like always. Like I always do, results to the left of your screen, how the group stands at the bottom of the screen. And let's get into it, starting in with Group A. Now, starting with the first 3 matches, Iran win 3-2 against North Korea. I'm gonna drop a video about Iran, about the whole Iran situation, how fans want Amir Galanoy sacked, the Iran coach. But I think Iran, this was a tough, not a tough game for them, but they dominated North Korea for most of the game. They created chances. They scored 3 goals still. It's just defensive issues right now that Amir Galanoy is trying to iron out with this Iran team that will take them to the next level, and that will make them a team that's probably that should be taken seriously at World Cup 2026. So a weird game for Iran here, bottling a lead and having to fight back. We'll see that they had to do the same thing against Kyrgyzstan in the second game. But at the end of the day, like I said, in AFC qualifying, in World Cup qualifying in general, all that matters is the points. All that matters is you pick up points, and Iran, they still pick up the 3 points there. And right now, we'll get to the bottom of the table, but they're doing very well for themselves in this group. The big game in this group this time around, Qatar versus Uzbekistan. Now, I'm surprised with Qatar here. I really didn't have that much confidence in Qatar getting a win at home against Uzbekistan, but they did it. They did it, a 3-2 win. It wasn't a convincing win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Qatar were super impressive. Oh, this was a turning point for them. I expected them to go and be amazing for the rest of the games. How bad their defense has been in the World Cup qualifying so far, I have no trust in this Qatar team, and you see that result at the bottom. You see that result. We're going to talk about that result right now. So, a good clutch win for Qatar here at home against Uzbekistan, but it wasn't impressive. And then UAE getting business done against Kyrgyzstan 3-0, full domination. Very impressive win for them there. Uzbekistan scraping by against North Korea. They did get a red card in this game as well. North Korea giving themselves some respect. Shout out Kim Jong-un, giving Iran and Uzbekistan, the group leaders in this group, difficult games, making them work for the points. So respect to North Korea, but Uzbekistan barely getting past North Korea. Iran, again, like I said, dominating Kyrgyzstan, so many chances, up 2-0, bottle the lead, and have to fight back to get the 3-2 win. Like I said, Amir Galanoy has time, but he needs to soon iron out these defensive issues that Team Melli's having. But yeah, a 3-2 win for Iran at the end of the day. Points are points. They're 3 points off Uzbekistan right now. They're on 16 points, 5 wins, 1 draw. I'm telling you, Iran fans, calm down. A lot of teams would wish they're in our position. A lot of teams. So yeah, Iran with a 3-2 win there. Frustrating game. And then the big one, which you guys, honest to gosh, honestly, I was not surprised. I didn't watch this game, but I'm not surprised when I saw this result. And I watched the highlights. This Qatar defense, Mendez was horrible. Qatar were awful. The defense all over the place. And this is what I mean. I have no trust in this Qatar team now. I don't think they have this like jinx or anything that they'll somehow Akram Afif and Almos Ali will score all the time and bail them out. 5-0, you can't bail yourselves out of that one. Everyone was awful for Qatar in this game today. UAE, brilliant win, giving themselves a good chance at basically solidifying that they will at least be in the playoff spots in third or fourth place, because This performance was so impressive across the Kyrgyzstan and Qatar games. 8 goals scored, 0 conceded. I think Lima scored 4 goals for the UAE here against Qatar. 4. So a great game, a fantastic game for him. Somehow he didn't get 10.0 rating on one of those apps. I don't know how you get 10.0 on those apps, but yeah, huge win for Qatar, demolishing. I mean, huge win for the United Arab Emirates, demolishing Qatar. And after those results, we're looking at the table at the bottom here. Like I said, Iran, no losses so far, 5 wins, 1 draw. They're on 16 points, 12 goals scored, 5 conceded. Uzbekistan, like we expected this from Uzbekistan, not a high scoring team, but also a difficult team to beat and score against. And they're on 13 points now. UAE with that big win, 10 points, 3 points clear of Qatar right now, giving them that space. And then I think like it looks like Kyrgyzstan and North Korea, it looks like the road ends here. Now there are still a lot of games. I think there's 4 games left. I have more hope for Kyrgyzstan that if results go their way and if they could get a big win here or there, because they still have to play Qatar again, Kyrgyzstan could potentially battle for 4th place against Qatar. So we're gonna have to wait to see in the future. We have to wait a while. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video that these World Cup qualifying games were the last ones for like 5 months. Asian World Cup qualifying will not be back until March of next year. So we're getting like a 4.5, 5 month break from Asian World Cup qualifying, which sucks because it's been so exciting. But let's see. In 5 months, a lot of things can change. People in Qatar's team that are starters can get injured. Kyrgyzstan could have players that fall into form. So there is a lot of potential there for Kyrgyzstan to cause an upset on Qatar and knock them into 5th place and getting into that playoff spot themselves. So Group A, business as usual. UAE, the standouts here. And yeah, Group A, let's go. Group B. Now, this was it was still exciting. This group is still exciting, and the way the group is panning out is very interesting. But I did not expect to see such low score lines in these games this time around. Kuwait and South Korea delivered 3-1 South Korea, good professional win. Oman getting that big win at home against Palestine. Palestine was going to go there and give them a tough, tough game. Oman gets through, wins 1-0. The game I'm the most disappointed in, the game I'm absolutely the most disappointed in is Iraq versus Jordan, because you guys, I was sat here a week ago telling you guys this game is going to be a firecracker. There's going to be so many goals. I predicted like 3-2, 4-2 kind of scoreline. It ended freaking 0-0. It ended freaking 0-0. So I guess that's good for both teams because both teams don't lose a lot of points on each other. Obviously, Jordan, with the team behind on points, would have wanted to snag a win so they could get above Iraq into that 2nd place position. But it just didn't happen. Now, if South Korea had beat the Palace, if South Korea had won, no, I'm not going to be overreactive here. So Palestine gets a big 1-1 draw against South Korea, and they had a lot of chances themselves in this game. Not a lot, but they had some chances in this game where they could have actually won the game against South Korea. But the thing with South Korea is just like they're on 14 points already, 4 games left. I think I'm confident in saying South Korea will 100% qualify in 1st or 2nd place and be at World Cup 2026. So I think South Korea are wrapping things up. Oman, Iraq. Oman at home against Iraq. This game was interesting because Iraq won, right? Iraq won. But Oman actually dominated the game against Iraq. Oman had 2 or 3 big chances to win this game against Iraq. So Iraq gets away with it here, and Oman almost had a famous win, because if they had won this game, Oman would have been on 9 points. Iraq would have been on 8 points. So this would have that would have turned the group on its head. But Iraq gets past with the 1-0. Like I said, it's the finest of margins. It's the Wild Wild West out in here in the AFC World Cup qualifying. And in the end, Oman are going to be frustrated with themselves to not get at least a point from that game. And they're in 3rd place with 9 points. They're in 4th place, with 6 points. And Kuwait and Jordan, I think, disappointing here from Jordan again. I'm just disappointed in Jordan overall in these 2 games. They just weren't as potent in attack as I thought they were going to continue to be. Maybe it's just 2 games. Maybe they'll be back in 5 months scoring a bunch of goals again. But yeah, Jordan definitely the most disappointing team in Group B over these two games. They should have at least won that Kuwait game. That would have put them on 11 points, better goal difference than Iraq. That would have put them above into second place. So the Jordan team is going to be very frustrated with themselves here. If I'm looking at the group, again, I think I'm going to call it. I think South Korea will finish first or second, but I think it's genuinely, if Oman can get a big win in these next games, it genuinely can still be a three-horse race for second place. But right now, it's definitely Iraq versus Jordan battling for second. And obviously, at the bottom end of the table, Palestine, Kuwait, Oman, all those teams have a chance at still finishing fourth. Oman has been the more impressive team in terms of how well they're actually playing. They've been way better than Kuwait and Palestine, but you never know. 5 months gap between now and the next games, a lot of things can change. So Group B, things are winding up, 6 games played, but I would definitely say the games in this group are the most disappointing this time around. And the group of madness, the group of absolute madness, guys. Group freaking C, Japan. Let's just get Japan's games out of the way. They demolished Indonesia away from home. They beat China away from home 3-1. Although China gave them a decent game. And actually, the China Japan, I saw like a poster that the public had, that like over there, like a Japanese or Chinese poster promoting the game. It was like dope as hell. It was like Dragon Ball Z coming in on like I don't know. It was crazy. I thought it was a crazy graphic. Japan running the show, 6 points, 16 points total, 5 wins, 1 draw, just like, but more impressively, 22 goals scored and only 2 conceded, 20 goal difference. Japan, absolutely. See you guys at World Cup 2026. But you guys, it's in these other games where I was just, because look at the points. Look at the points. Look at the bottom and look at that points total. So you have Japan on 16, and you have Australia on 7, Indonesia, Saudi, Bahrain, and China all on 6 freaking points. When have we ever? This is a crazy group. And after first place from second to sixth, I genuinely can't tell you how it's going to go. Let's go over the game. Australia at home. Australia were ass this time around. Australia were so bad. Not so bad, but they were so underwhelming in these two games. At home, a draw to Saudi Arabia. Yes, Saudi's a big team. The return of El Grenade, I understand. But at home, and you want to get yourself some comfortable distance in this group, you got to do better. You got to do better, especially seeing that Saudi performance in the second game. We're going to talk about Indonesia. Australia are going to be frustrated themselves in that game. This one also surprised me. You guys, China getting that away win against Bahrain. Bahrain, who was a team very much in form in this group. And as you see, 2-2 against Australia, they were a dangerous team that almost beat Australia if it wasn't for Mengi or Yengi, whatever his name is, for Australia getting that last minute equalizer. Excuse me, I just burped. China getting a big win here and getting themselves on 6 points. Now, the thing that really puts me off of China is look at that goal difference. -10. -10. That's embarrassing. That's a very embarrassing goal difference. So that is something that is probably going to hinder them for their chances to at least get to the playoff spots. But China, huge win against Bahrain, and Bahrain kicking themselves in the foot there, because when you're the home team, you should be winning these games. You should be winning these games. And I really thought they beat China. So that was an interesting result. And then these two games were really this game. I urge you, if you have not watched this Indonesia-Saudi Arabia game, at least go watch the highlights. When Indonesia score, you guys, I didn't know Indonesia fans were like this. I didn't know Indonesia, you guys, I didn't know you guys had fans like this. When Indonesia scored both of these goals, Marcelino, by the way, big performance from him getting these 2 goals against Saudi Arabia. It could have been 3 or 4, by the way. Indonesia could have won this game 4-0 if they put away their chances, 4-5-0 easily. So Indonesia, huge performance, big win, putting themselves on 6 points in third place right now, completely flipping around their group prospects. And these goals, man, go watch the highlights of these Indonesia goals, because when they score, when Marcelino scores the first and second goals, the stadium is shaking. It's freaking shaking. So Indonesia, I didn't know you guys had fans like that. I didn't know you guys were into football like this. So that was cool to see. But what's even crazier to see is getting this 2-0 win against Saudi at home puts you on 6 points, 1 win, 3 draws, 2 losses, and you're in third place. You're in third place. And you still have, if I'm not mistaken, Indonesia still has China and those guys to play. So there is points up for grabs here for Indonesia. I could see Indonesia getting 9, 10, 11, 12 points. And that would easily be enough to be at least in the playoffs. Now, it would depend on how well Australia rebound, how well Saudi, Bahrain, China all rebound. But Indonesia, the team I was most disappointed in a month ago in October, yes, they were horrible against Japan, but this big win against Saudi, the return of Renaud, everyone was talking about Renaud. He's back. Saudi's going to be back to the best. I knew it was. I knew it wasn't going to be like that right away. Indonesia 2-0 win, huge, flipping this group on its head. I think the biggest surprises here are, well, this is what I mean. The group of madness. Australia drawing both of these games is wild to me. Bahrain losing to China is wild to me. Bahrain taking Australia to a draw 2-2 when they were potentially about to beat Australia 2-1. That's a shock to me. Indonesia getting a 2-0 dominant, not just like a 2-0 scrappy win, a 2-0 dominant win against Saudi, shocking to me. So you guys, Group C, I mean, I love this group. I love this group. Yes, Japan 100% are getting first place, but this battle from second to sixth place, I'm telling you, if you're an AFC fan, tune into these games in 5 months. It sucks that this is the main thing that sucks. 5 months off from AFC World Cup qualifying, we won't get to see how this group plays out for another 5, 6, 7 months. It's so frustrating, but if you're an AFC fan, tune in for those games. Trust me, tune in for those games in 5 months' time. If you're not an AFC fan, if you're just watching for knowledge to keep up, I urge you, watch these games. Watch Indonesia play. Watch Japan play. They're so good. Just watch them. Sorry for the awkward pause there. My dad basically came into the room and fat shamed me and said I'm getting fat. He's like, pull your shirt up. You need to do crunches and push-ups and everything. So yeah, I got fat shamed by my dad twice today. But anyway, back to this group. Just tune in for it. It's gonna be exciting. I literally cannot tell you who I see finishing second, who I think would finish in the playoff spots. I swear to you, I can't tell you. That's how exciting this group is. So that's it, guys. Those are the groups. We reviewed them. We won't have a video like these, the preview and review videos for 5 months. But like I said in the other video, let me know if you're a viewer, if you like this AFC content. Let me know in that time span. Do you want me to talk about China? Do you want me to talk more about Indonesia? Do you want me to do video talking about these teams? What kind of AFC content would you want to see? Let me know. I'm pretty open to anything. I like talking about anything and learning new things. So I'd be down for it because I don't just want to forget about AFC and all that for 5 months. I don't want to do that. I want to keep up to date, refresh, see what's going on with these teams, and yeah, just prepare myself to be ready for these review and preview videos that we do anytime the World Cup qualifying comes around and anytime international break comes around. So, you guys, it's been your boy Hokage Puya. Indonesia, big win. Qatar, trash. Group B, disappointing. Iran, let's calm down, Irani fans. Everything's fine. And yeah, you guys, big, big games. We have the 5 month break now on World Cup qualifying. But until then, hopefully I'll see you guys in maybe future AFC videos. Yeah, guys, it's been your boy, Hokage Puya. And again, like always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.